Hey, what's up guys, Master here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Now my past couple videos, I've really been hyping up Antwerp, and that's not something I'm intentionally trying to do, so today I'm coming out with my big reasons on why Antwerp might not be as great of an investment as I may be potentially making it out to be. I'm not trying to intentionally hype it up, but I think that's something that's definitely come along with my past two videos that I've spoken positively about Antwerp, so let's hop on into it. First up here, a big major cause that Antwerp might not be great is overinvesting. Obviously, overinvesting is the biggest factor moving forward. I made pretty much an entire video about if Antwerp was going to be overinvested slash oversupplied. Both of those are quite interchangeable, at the least in the context that we're using it, in my opinion. Now, any major investment at this point is going to have some level of overinvestment, at least in my opinion. The thing is, at least looking right now, it seems that Antwerp is at a very manageable level. One of my videos, I specifically focused in on this. It was the first video. I definitely recommend you check it out if you haven't already. But in that video, we found that it didn't seem there was a huge amount of overinvesting going on. Now, those were pretty early numbers, and honestly it's very hard to tell, but it's definitely off to a good start, which is really all we can ask for at this point. Hardest part about overinvesting is we're not going to know until the time comes that the sale has officially ended that if these items were overinvested into, which capsules might be a little bit underinvested into. It's really hard because it's all a guess, at least right now. The second thing I have is interest levels. Now this one's very hard, but in my opinion, I do think that there's a decent amount of the Stockholm stickers that look better than their Antwerp counterparts. I think there's a lot of stickers like the Ends Hollow and a couple other ones that are just the exact same, and Stockholm's got a little bit bigger, a little bit better in my opinion, and they're going to be much more common, that I can't understand why someone would go with the Antwerp version of it. Now this is not going to be making a complete 180 for Antwerp, at least in my opinion. We're not going to see Antwerp just completely tank because of this, but I do think it is a factor moving forward that Antwerp might have a little less demand than some of these Stockholm capsules that we're trying to compare it to, because a lot of the Antwerp stickers can be found in Stockholm for a little bit cheaper, a little bit better. It's just something that's not going to be positively impacting the Antwerp demand moving forward, and it's something you should definitely be thinking about before you invest into these capsules. Now the third thing I want to mention is OverHype. Now this one can come in a couple different ways. Obviously my past two videos where I talked about Antwerp, I'm not intentionally trying to overhype Antwerp. In fact, I don't want you to invest into Antwerp. It's something I'm probably going to be investing into, and the less investors the better. But it doesn't really mean one way or the other, at least in my opinion, overhype. You just need to know it's happening. A lot of things receive overhype in CSGO, and that's mainly the reason we see a lot of CSGO items move, is because we see a lot of people FOMO investing. That's something we definitely expect to see here with Antwerp. It's something we might already be seeing a little bit when we have some people that are saying it's easy profit, and honestly it is what it is, but you just need to be aware that it's happening. The only thing, at least in my opinion, that's going to be majorly harmful from this is if people don't realize that this is someone intentionally hyping up something, and therefore they're going to get sucked into it thinking that this is a true factual video, such as my past two on Antwerp have been, when in fact it's actually just an opinion based video. That's why, at least with my past two videos, I tried to focus in on some more factual information rather than just opinion. I do like opinion based videos, and there is a time and a place for them, but the only thing that can really be bad with opinion based videos is when you try to pass them off as actual information that is important to investing. But at least in my opinion, when you're giving people investment advice, which is mainly what these videos and my past two have been focusing in on, I really try to stick to the factual information because someone's opinion is not going to be super relevant here. The fourth one I want to talk about is under research, and research is a very broad term that's used a lot in CSGO investing that I kind of want to narrow down on. Now there's a couple different ways you can go about this. It can definitely be anecdotal research. That's not going to be the best thing, but it's definitely not going to be a terrible thing either. Any amount of research you put into this is definitely going to be beneficial over none. I think, at least in my opinion, this research should kind of include weighing out a lot of different people's opinions, but also including your own opinion in that discussion. You are the person that's investing into it, not these other people. They are not controlling your capital, your money. You are the person controlling that, and at the end of the day, if it's not something you're comfortable investing into, you don't have to. I mean, you're going to have a lot of FOMO right away, whether you're the investment investment is good or bad, soon as these capsules go off sale, we're probably going to see an increase in price just because of FOMO. It happened with Stockholm. It's happened with, I think, pretty much every big investment that we've seen a decent amount of people go into, is there's always a short period afterwards where the price spikes up because people are unsure in their decision. That's the thing, is no matter what you do, you really have to be sure that you're doing it and make that confident decision. The fifth one, and at least in my opinion, it's the biggest one, is upcoming events. The biggest impact on CSGO investing and a lot of these CSGO investments is big impacts by Valve. Operation Riptide brought down so many things in price, and that offered a really good time to buy at a discount, but on the other side of that, we see a lot of people lose money. This was the downfall of some of the Stockholm capsules and a lot of other investments. This is a time where it's great for buying, but it's terrible for sellers, and I think this is something that's definitely going to be playing a role into the Antwerp capsules here. Before we see the next major in Rio, we are almost guaranteed, in my opinion, to receive some sort of major update. That could either come in a couple different forms, but I think what's most likely going to happen is something big on the 10-year anniversary. There's no way that Valve, a company that is definitely motivated by money, is going to let this big opportunity slip away and all they're going to put up is a sticker capsule. I have a hard time believing that a sticker capsule is all we're going to be seeing for this 10-year anniversary. In my opinion, this is the perfect time for them to release an operation. Operation Riptide seemed rushed with the time frame they wanted to fit it in, and I think that's for perfect reason, because they were thinking about this 10-year anniversary, and that's the perfect time to release another operation. Operation Riptide released in September, which is the earliest out of the past 3 years with the operations. Therefore, I think they were trying to set it up pretty decently so that they could have an operation in August without it seeming like a major disruption in the overall ecosystem, in the overall CSGO market. I think this is something they definitely intentionally did, and although it ended up in a rushed Riptide, I think it's probably going to make sense when we see something big in August. Now, that is speculative and that's not confirmed, but I do think there is a high likelihood of something like that happening. Now, to kind of wrap this one up, I have a big question for you guys. I obviously am going to be investing into Antwerp. I have not yet determined the specific amount I'm going to, but I got a big question for you guys. Should I be obligated to tell you what I'm investing into before or after the sale? Now, I'm going to tell you one of the two either way, but I'm just wondering if I should do it before or after the sale is done. I do kind of want to do it after, because I don't want people specifically buying into whatever I buy into. I think that's an overall bad look for the CSGO investing community, because people are just copying what I'm doing. Also, there's not really an upside for me in that, because one, people are investing into the same exact thing I am, and two, if the investment does not go exactly to plan, I'm going to have a lot of angry people coming after me who, even though I told them not to take my advice at face value, they're still going to be upset with me. Overall, I want to hear your guys' opinions on that, but overall, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.